So I had the opportunity to speak at your conference, Max Law Con. I think it was in September. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And one of the I love going to conferences and getting there a day early and listening and taking notes and learning from the other speakers. And one thing that jumped out to me from your presentation and multiple others too was the emphasis that you guys are putting into mindset and personal productivity and everything from like sleep optimization, just really a lot. I was really surprised and I loved how much focus you guys kind of put on, I'll just call it performance optimization. um Really curious, like, you personally, what was your journey on that? Like, have you always been wired that way? Like, how did you get to the point where you spend so much time thinking about optimization?
I'd say I definitely evolved over time on that. That was one. It's funny. I think it probably started with diet in 2020. So because I look at pictures back from whenever like 15 years ago, and I'd say I look better now than I did 15 years ago because I was doing the whole thing where I was staying up till 3 in the morning working on cases and I was getting no sleep and it was just terrible. I was really awful when it comes to health. Wasn't eating healthy. And then I changed my diet in 2020. I remember stepping on the scale thinking like, what the, it wasn't like I was like super, super big, but it was definitely bigger than I wanted to be. That's for sure. And so it just kind of evolved from there. And then I've really got it kind of gotten into sort of the whole health hacking because it really, it's I think it's funny how we'd like to kind of separate, compartmentalize our lives. Okay, we run a law firm, we run a business, that's over there. We've got kids, that's over there. We've got ourselves, we got to take care of ourselves, that's over here. And the reality is it's all wrapped into one, right? The reality is that you can try to separate those things as best you can. But guess what? If you just had a kid and you're up really, really late and you're up till 4 in the morning because the kid's sick, and then you got to get up because you got court at 9 a.m. and you're tired all freaking day. Like you can't separate those things. So my conclusion was like, okay, you can't separate those things. If I'm going to be the best of the best of the best in what I do, that means I've got to optimize this other part of my life too. So, um, it's not the easiest thing to do. Getting sleep for me is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. The eating healthy is completely fine. I can do all that. I can work out. We hired a trainer. I did all that stuff, right? It's the sleep for me, and that's probably one of the most important parts of this is that I usually get up early. I usually stay up late. It's one of those things where it's a bad habit I picked up from my dad. I think it's my dad. He's still to this day up late, up early. He just retired last week, 2 weeks ago. So he's still in good health for the most part. But I think it comes down to I learned a lot of hard lessons. Maybe I don't drink like I used to. I'll have an occasional drink, but I rarely ever drink. A lot of that comes down to just how I want to feel the next day. I have a Whoop, so we have a Max Law Whoop group. I don't know if you wear a Whoop or not, but it's
No.
you can. I mean, it really has gotten down to like looking and seeing what I've eaten the previous day. Okay, how do I feel today? How do my numbers play out? All of those different things. So I think it's just lessons learned over time. Really, there was no major event that led me to it. It's just things I picked up.